And continuing coverage now on the water safety problem in Peoria. 6,000 residents without water today because of a parasite that can cause meningitis. In fact, 2 5-year-old boys may have died because of it. And joining us with more today is Dr. John Shufeldt with Native Air. Welcome, Dr. Shufeldt. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
What exactly is meningitis?
Meningitis is actually an infection of the lining of the brain called your meninges, and that infection can spread all up and down around your brain and actually down your spinal canal as well.
And how do you get it?
Well, there's a lot of different ways to get it. There's viral meningitis, there's bacterial meningitis, and then the meningitis that these 2 boys died from, which is amoebic meningitis.
And that you can get from drinking water?
Well, you can probably get it from drinking water. The way in the literature for amoebic meningitis that people were contracted is it actually goes up in their nasal passages and then up into their sinuses and then back into their brain. So actually drinking water would be probably difficult unless you actually kind of inhale or aspirate the water or cough and it goes back up into your nose.
I see. What are the symptoms of meningitis?
Well, generally the symptoms of meningitis are this. It's fever, stiff neck, and headache. Usually they start much more insidiously. In other words, it starts off much more subtly. Just not feeling well, low-grade fever, just kind of generally feeling run down, and then it progresses to the other symptoms.
You know, I know a lot of people are concerned today because the symptoms of meningitis are very similar to the flu. This is the time of year for flu. Can you kind of ease our fears a little bit?
Well, I think that the best news is that this form of meningitis that the children die from is extremely, extremely, extremely rare. And there's very few case reports in the literature of it. Meningitis in itself is not that unusual. There's a lot of people with viral meningitis that walk around and don't even know they have it. But this kind of meningitis is rare.
How's it diagnosed?
The only way to diagnose it is actually through a spinal tap, which is a lumbar puncture, putting a small needle in a patient's back and withdrawing a small amount of fluid and testing that fluid for a lot of different criteria that we look at.
Sounds painful. What are the treatments for meningitis?
Well, for viral meningitis, it's more expectant observation. Bacterial meningitis is treated with antibiotics. This form of meningitis is actually treated with amphotericin. Or rifampin are the kind of treatments that people have used for it in the past. However, by the time treatment starts, you really need to catch this form of meningitis early to have any success at all treating it.
One more question. A lot of people wondering if their water purifiers protect them from meningitis or possibly parasites in water.
Well, as I understand it, this form of meningitis would be protected with chlorinated water. Meningitis, and this type of meningitis is not passed person to person. A lot of meningitis is, for example, passed by sneezing, coughing, not hand washing appropriately.
All right. Dr. Shufeldt, thanks for clearing the air for us. We're glad to have you today.
Thanks.
And if you would like more questions about, if you have more questions rather about meningitis or other health issues you'd like to ask Dr. Shufeldt, just log on to our website. There's the